So a lot of people talk about, having a good diet, having a good exercise routine. And what that is like, all right, I'm going to focus on the physical, what I put in my body. But not a lot of people are focused on like what I'm actually feeding my brain.
Right.
And a lot of us are around so much toxic stuff. And I mean, I talk about this a ton, where people are like glued to their phones or social media and like seeing and being attacked by so many fronts. It makes it too difficult to actually think deeply about yourself. Okay, I'll actually explain something that counterintuitive that I don't do, but I've started to think about a lot. So I was actually listening to and having a conversation with someone, and he was telling me how he and many of his fellow entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs, they wear the same clothes every day. You see them, they wear the same shirt, and they buy like 10 of them.
It's like a Zuckerberg thing.
Right. And the reason why they do that is because a lot of people say is that you can only make a certain amount of good decisions in a day.
Right.
And if you spend that time on making decisions that, like, what am I going to wear? What am I going to do this? It doesn't leave enough opportunity for your brain to make decisions when you really need them to. I'm a big believer in that. I think that we can train our body to have amount of resources, but I think when it comes to mental power, we have finite resources in a day. And I think a lot of people waste it. The minute they wake up, they have so much overstimulation from their cell phones, for instance. People wake up and the first thing they do, I know like people do, is like they go on social media, they scroll. And it's like before they even brush their teeth, they'll scroll. Then they're brushing teeth, they're also scrolling. Yeah. And it's like literally you're attacked. The news, this happened, that person did this one, this politician, this, and it's like you're getting, like your brain right now, our brains are getting flooded. And what they actually show is when they do scans on people's brains, when they look at social media, the dopamine levels shoot up. So the same amount of like the neurotransmitter in your brain that you get from actually accomplishing something in your life, like I made my bed or I cleaned my dishes, people are getting it from likes and from actually scrolling social media. So think about all the stuff that's going on in our brain, which is going to help us get a reward and pleasure that make us productive. Now our brain is getting that same chemical from just scrolling. Right. So how does that affect productivity in the workplace now? And I think my hypothesis is that the more addicted we get to social media, the more the work productivity is going to decrease in the Western countries, because people's brains are not going to shoot and fire for dopamine, getting their job done, getting tasks done, doing the PowerPoint. They're already getting shot in the morning when I'm doing that, and like there's not much left. If you had a long day and you feel like you have that like huge presentation, you're working all night, when you get home you feel tired, like your brain's fried. I have it. It's like, all right, man, I can't. It's not a good time for me to take decisions. Most people, by the time they get to work, they're already like that. It's like 9 or 9:30, and they've had so. It's true. So clean your mental, like clean what you see in your day. I did this for my life when I wanted to change my life. I was at a point, I was like, all right, I got to change my stuff. Something's not working. The first thing that I did, I got rid of my smartphone and I got a flip phone. Really? Yes. That was the first thing I did.
When was this?
This was back in college, my first year in college. So I was in high school. I wasn't a good student. I just got in trouble. I was on academic probation. It was just not going well. I knew if I don't change my life, I'm not going to succeed. And I just got into bodybuilding, which played a huge role in my life. And I was like, in order to be focused in my life, I'm doing bodybuilding. I want to be good. I didn't want to be in my situation. I was in high school. I was just not doing well. So I had a smartphone at the time. I got rid of it. I got a flip phone. And on the flip phone, you can check your email. There's no Facebook. There's really nothing. And it's so hard to text. I can only text 2 words.
Like T9 or something.
Right. And I had that flip phone for a long time, dude. Almost 1.5 years of flip phone. And I could barely text. I was completely disconnected from anything. I got Facebook probably like 2 years ago. I didn't. There's nothing on my. People are like, what? I don't use it. And I got Instagram just actually last June. I never had Instagram before. Yeah. So I was what they call people in the dark. And what that allowed me to do, I think it's one of the big reasons that it allowed me to just. I don't have that. I didn't check my feed. I didn't have a feed. I don't like. Imagine if you just don't have social media. Like you don't check it at all. There's nothing to check. So all that time that was spent on other things and other people, and that my diet was focused on other people's opinions, now it's not there. And I had all the time to focus on myself. And I think what I'm getting at, tying at too, is that if you want time to focus on yourself, you need to make time in your day to do that. Right. When are you going to do that? Like 1 a.m. when you get back after you did shots with your friends to show that you're cool? Like you don't have time. Most people like all day they're busy with other people. I wake up, check my email, then I'm going to do social media, then I'm there, and then I'm like taking selfies, and I'm sitting down, eating food, I'm taking a selfie of the food. Then I come up and I post, oh my God, I hate the work. Then I'm on a tee, I'm on social media again. Then I'm in the gym. When I go to the gym, then I'm taking photos while I'm in the gym or checking social media. In the gym, people are taking the phone. Yeah. Then they go shower, they have their phone with them. And then they're basically talking to their friends on Skype. And then they go out at night. And when they go out at night, they take more photos. And like, they're literally like, you are a slave. Right. When I see people take photos on purpose on their social media because it's not they want to. Have you ever asked someone, are you happy like taking this photo? It's like, no, I'm not happy. I'm just doing it so they feel like they have to do it. Right. And in life, when you have to do something, not because you want to do something, you don't have sovereignty. And I think that social media, it can be used in a positive way,
I love
but
that.
a lot of people are doing it because they have to do it. Whereas social media before was like, it's a fun thing you share with your friends, you know, and it's great. You share what you want. Now people feel obligated. I told you a conversation I had with my barber, and she was like, I have to go out tonight because if I don't go, I can't do a Facebook check-in. I was like, so your reason for going out is just to have a Facebook check-in? And she was like, yeah. I mean, I don't really want to go there, but you know, whatever. At least I can check in on Facebook. People think I have a life. And I was like, that blows my mind. You're going to spend money, parking, gas, driving all the way across the state, seeing a comedy show you don't want to see so you can take photos to check in for other people. You are not living. You are crazy. A slave.
Yeah.
And this is not just her. This is almost most people in our generation, they're constantly they have to take a photo of everything, not because they want to. And this is what I take issue with is like, it's not because you want to do that, it's because you feel you have to fit in. And at that point, you have already lost. You have lost already. So how can you win? How can you succeed? How can you be a producer? How can you contribute to the world when you can't contribute to yourself? You're already a slave. Slaves don't write history. Kings do. Right. And kings are sovereign.
That's deep, man. Yeah,
and slaves don't write history. Slaves aren't legends. Slaves aren't pioneers. Only kings are, and kings write history. Right. And if you are a slave to this device that has nothing, no brain, nothing, you're done. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest problem. So my example to you is like, how do you improve this shit? Stop being a slave to this stuff. And if it means that you need to clean up your diet, get rid of your Facebook. Literally go on the app. It's really simple and press delete Facebook. Press delete Instagram. Unless you have a business that you're running or you need to be on there, there's no need for you to be on there. I don't care about it.
What about deactivating it? Do you think that works? You can always reactivate it, right?
I mean, look, if you are someone who cares about their self-improvement, you don't need to delete apps just to be like, oh, I need to discipline myself. But if that's what you need, just fucking delete it. Yeah. I did it. I was like, oh, you know what? That way I don't even have an option. So people ask me that. I was like, I don't know. I have to go on a computer to find Facebook. I was like, fuck that. Yeah. So I just didn't have it.
Or at least leverage Facebook or Instagram for something that's more worthwhile. Like follow stuff that will actually educate you, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Or unfollow your friends who are just...
There's plenty of successful people right now, and they're also on Facebook and figuring out a way to do it. Yeah. But I think that they have figured out a way is like, all right, how can I be in this place with so much distractions and still succeed? Right. And if you're not at that level yet, many of us aren't at that level, and that's okay. At my point in my life, I was getting really distracted. I was always like, oh, this person, that person. I want to be a cool kid. I had like a ton of arrogance, and I was like, I thought it was the shit. But I knew also, I was conscious enough, and this is another topic, being conscious that you need to change. That's the first step. Right. And I became conscious that where I'm going with my life is not going to bring me success. So once I became conscious, I was like, all right, like now is the time for me to do something about it.
You were enlightened.
I was enlightened. I was an enlightened millennial.
There you go.
But that was a very important point, because it meant that I can now make a change. And for me, that change was that I need to actively discipline myself to not give a shit. Yeah. So as cool, I was cool. I have a great physique. And I like this and cars, and people are like, oh, Pretty, like you don't want to post that shit? And I was like, no, I don't care. But like any other person would be like, oh, I'm definitely gonna post all my shots and my physique, right? Why wouldn't you do it? But because when I went through my phase, my like college phase, I just didn't have a cell phone, so I just never got into it. I never got addicted to it. So I'll go days without check. Like for now, it's only for business, and even now I'm like, okay, I maybe should leverage my Instagram. Sure. But this starts with cleaning up your diet and gaining sovereignty back. It's a big topic on our show.
And diet meaning everything you feed like everything that goes through you, right?
100%.
Diet, actual diet, everything you feed your mind. And I'll close with this. For everybody who doesn't know Jim Rohn is a business philosopher and life philosopher from the 80s, 90s?
Yeah.
Passed away in 2009. Who's actually Tony Robbins' mentor. He said in one of his seminars one day, every day stand guard at the doors of your mind. And I think that's such a profound statement. Right. Every day stand guard at the doors of your mind. Just be mindful of what you feed your mind. Be mindful of what conversations you engage in.
100%.
Be mindful of what books you read. Be very conscious about what how you live your life. And once you do that, then I think you're on your way to ultimate enlightenment.
And it starts with the little black device when we have in our hands. Yeah. It starts when you have dinner. We have dinner and people put their phones on the table.
Oh yeah.
And it starts with those small things.
Simon Sinek talks about that too.
Right. Yeah. So it starts with that, and it starts with the minute that we say, "Oh shit!" Like I see people like getting worried. I'm like, "Why are you worried?" It's like, "Oh, that person hasn't texted me yet," and that cannot be your worry. Mm-hmm. If you're worried about such a small thing, how are you going to be a Fortune 500 entrepreneur? Right. If you're worried about some other person that you don't know texted you or validated you, you're not going to make it. You're already screwed. And so if you listen to it and you feel, hey, like I need to change my life, like I did many years ago, go it and do it. Delete it. Take control of your life. And if you do, tell us about it. And we'd love to hear about this and how it goes. Do a 30-day diet.
30-day diet.
Right.
Start, any day. We can pick it any day you want.
Tag us, Ashley, when you do it.
Please.
Well, you can't because you're not using social media.
Right.
But yeah, let us know. Send us an email, and we want to hear about it, and you'll see how profoundly life will change.
Awesome, guys.